So the download that Jesus gave me is a person could have had several relationships in the past, and it's not to say, oh, I never been married. I always been single. In the Bible, God is talking about a natural husband, but what I'm talking about, the relationship that God gave me, it could have been a relationship. You can never even had to be married to them, whether it was a marriage or not. But if you was with that person, and it could have been five. In this case, it could have been one. It could have been 100. But at the end of the day, you've had somebody. You had a person that you pretty much was in a relationship with that was ungodly, and then God, Jesus had to tell the lady like, and the person. Not only did you have five in the past, the person that you're with right now currently is not your husband. So what God is telling me, some people could be dibbling and dabbling with somebody that is not their husband. And it's not to point fingers or to bash or anything like that, because I once was there fornicating and living with different men, and not even just living, just messing with different men. So I once was there. So I believe me, I know. But I know now that it does not pay off, and everybody have their different testimonies that God will give them. But I'm just only the messenger. Some people could actually be in a relationship. God said like, the person that you're with right now is not your husband, meaning that's not your ordained spouse, or it could be a man. That's not your ordained spouse who I'm gonna bless you with. And say for instance, it is your ordained spouse. You're messing up by you walking in the flesh and you doing things before ahead of time. What it says, do not wake love before it pleases in Solomon or something like that. So if this God didn't bless you with that spouse right now, why is you waking up love before it pleases? So that's the revelation God gave me. And the person that you are right now is not your spouse. You're not married to them. Or if you it is your, I guess, ordained spouse, you mess it up because you're not married to them right now. So that's what revelation God gave to me. Singles, now that I don't got on the ones who, fornicating and doing different things like that. But let me get on the singles too. Now there's some singles that are actually who's waiting for a husband, or just not, but they're actually like living righteously and not doing anything at all. But I'm talking about those singles who may not actually have a person per se, but they're doing other things to pleasure themselves. Now, I'm not going to get into detail because this is not a sex ed class. So, yeah, I'm not going to get all into that. So, if you want to know about all that, this ain't the channel. You better go find them class. But, yeah, if you're doing that, that's unpleasing to God. Just like I told once, okay, who in a relationship and doing that, living a fornication. Doing that, it's not your husband as well either. You doing stuff like that, this goes to you too, because some people could actually be in a relationship with themselves. It may not be another person, but it might be themselves. And I know because not, since I've been living right for God, but in my past, like, yeah, way back then, my past, even when I was in relationships sometimes, believe me, it's not no judgment song or anything like that, but I'm just saying, don't think that you're living righteously and you're waiting for your spouse, whether you're a man or a woman. You're waiting for your spouse, but you're doing that even if it's every so often, even if it's just once a week, or you're still doing it and it's still unpleasing to God. You, of course, you're gonna, feel the fire. Feel. Jesus. But yeah, you know what to do. Like cast those thoughts down. When I'm feeling the fire. Jesus. Jesus. But yeah, I cast those thoughts down. You gotta read the word. Go outside, do something active. I don't know. Stay inside, do something active. But at the end of the day, don't fall into that. Because like I said, even though it's not a natural person, it's still in a relationship with yourself, and it's still unpleasing to God. Don't think that you're out of the woodwork, some of y'all who do that. You're still being unpleasing to God. It pretty much says, the lady said, wow, like, yeah, you're right. Like, I perceive that you're a prophet. Jesus pretty much saying, like, you know how the true worshipers are gonna worship him in spirit and truth. I'm not gonna read all of it, but I'm gonna read like the last little bit. The woman said to him, I know that Messiah is coming, who is called Christ. When he comes, he will tell us all things. And then Jesus had to say to her, I who speak to you am he. So this whole time, Jesus speaking to you, you know you're a prophet, but you know you're not knowing that he the Christ this whole time speaking to you. So the revelation that God gave me is you could be talking to your spouse. You could have seen your spouse before. You could have ran across your spouse before, whether you actually spoke to them or just say hey or had a long conversation with them. They could be a friend, or whether you don't really know them like that, but you probably seen them. I'm just saying in the comment section or something like that. But you still can't perceive that that's your ordained spouse. You still don't know that that's the spouse that God gave you with, and you could have seen them and say, this ain't the person. Like, this ain't my type. Or you probably never looked at them in that light, because it's like instead of you focusing on spiritual things, you're more focused on worldly things. But not only that, it's like, yeah, this person's not my type. So yeah, I know that God wouldn't give me this, and I had that mindset too. It's like, God, you know that I don't like certain things, and I understand that your spouse is not your type. But yeah, certain things, it's like, yeah, please, Lord, don't do me like that. But at the end of the day, Jesus had to tell the lady, like, you don't perceive, like, I am he. So, like I said, the revelation God gave me is the person that you so-called not interested in, the person that you so-called whatever take another look at, or I guess you just so in the flesh that you can't even tell that to your spouse. That's the person. Whether you a man or a woman, that's the person. And this video is not for everybody that see it. So everybody that see it don't think automatically, oh, the person automatically is my spouse. That because this message might not be for you. So seek God regarding this message to see if this is for you. This is only probably for a select person, or it could only just be for one person, or it could be for a person that look at this years later. It may not be for nobody right now, but for years later. That's how God works. But at the end of the day, when you hear this message, just seek God to see if this message is for you. So, but God was telling me it is well. The concerns, the thoughts that you had regarding your spouse, it's going to be well. So you don't have to have those mindsets anymore. You don't have to have those thoughts anymore. It is well. Go get your husband. And I'm not saying literally like go get him, because a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. So be a lady and do your calling like what God calls you to do. Don't go searching for a man. But when I say go get your husband, that means go get him like spiritually, as far as praying for him, as far as fasting, as far as walking on your calling. That's what I mean by go get your husband. So yeah, it is well. All the concerns that you might be having, just know as long as you pleasing to God, God will be pleasing to you, and you will please your spouse. So, and like I said, if you want to, you can write it in my comments if you have those concerns as well. Like, you know, you don't have to say exactly what it is, but you know, if you want to say, oh, I do have concerns about that too, then yeah, it'll be good. So that's pretty much all I had to say regarding it, y'all. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel, y'all. Y'all bless it.